He's like, you got your test? So I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, go, get in there. I'm like, okay.
The
I didn't
forklift
really,
crashed through the walls.
yeah,
Guess
I
what
didn't
will
really
be
sleep well. I didn't really
Surprise!
sleep well either. So I was yawning most of the morning while trying to listen to theory and then start doing the questions. Yeah, just waiting on Mozzie at the moment, aren't we?
Always Mozzie.
Sure. Yeah, it's always Mozzie. Yeah, knowing. Oh, that's not Mozzie. That's not Mozzie.
I gotcha,
Oh.
bitch.
Oh.
Anyway, Boober.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say it's always Mozzie. I reckon he's probably doing what I used to do, which was just scramble around trying to get dinner done. And but my mum's cooking tonight, thankfully, and I haven't had to prep anything as soon as I walk through the door. So tonight I'm somewhat blessed with not having to really cook for myself.
I'm always good for food on Mondays. Every Monday, there's always a food truck just down the road for pizzas. So I just walk down the road and just go, hi, gotta get pizza, the usual, please.
Oh, hello. I just sort of like flexed my shoulders and I just felt my spine click and it's like, oh, hello, sweet release. Oh, I think we may have a Mozzie soon to be arriving. He's just loaded through on R20.
Alright, let's try and do a Beetlejuice. Let's call his name 3 times. Mozzie. 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 God, it would have been so good if he popped in then.
You try not to forget his name.
No, I said we'll try and do a Beetlejuice. Call his name 3 times.
Yeah, sorry, I completely missed the first part of what you said. And it was like, oh, is he trying to remember his name? But, yeah. And like Satan, call upon his name and he shall appear.
Yes.
Hello, Mozzie.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Or
Sorry, I'm a bit tired, but yeah.
So, I feel like I've had a cranial impaction.
Had a what now?
Cranial impaction. It's just another word for basically you've had a head injury to do with in the form of your head being squeezed.
Ah, okay, I see. Yeah, I don't really know medical terms in English, so...
That's the only medical term I know.
Do you know what a proprietism is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you're in for a great story. So, it's in principle the medical term for the opposite of erectile dysfunction. More in the sense that you can't get it away. Now you see, when this happens to a man, right? It usually takes a while before they realize that, oh, it doesn't stop or go down. I should probably go to the doctor.
It keeps going up.
Well,
no,
it just stays up.
That's what happens when you have Viagra. Also, I don't actually know what we're talking about.
Proprietism.
Ah, yummy.
So anyway, so the man, has a proprietism, goes to the doctor. Usually, at the time where they get to the doctor, they've had it for quite a while. Because, you need it for probably quite a while before you realize something is wrong. So what they do first is generally they'll just try to, suck the blood out. Blood is what gives the erection inside the penis. So they take like a big syringe, and luckily they can aim it at like two balloon-like elements.
I've heard of this.
And luckily they only have to like stick it into one of them, and then they drain it out. Now the bad thing about this is usually because it's been like a while, over an hour or so, the blood is more like jam or marmalade texture because it hasn't been oxygenated.
Ew.
Now it can get worse. Usually that fixes it. maybe it doesn't.
Usually.
So if it doesn't fix it, and it just goes up again, they can't just keep on like poking you with the syringe and keep on draining you. They need a little slightly longer term solution, which very 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 rarely happens. But what they do is that they take a scalpel.
No. Okay, so I'm stopping this here because I'm starting to be like, nope, I'm okay.
You can
I'm-
basically fit down the urethra.
I could literally.
I'm starting to picture a banana here, to be honest.
No, we're not picturing anything. I could, under normal circumstances, handle any level of sycophantic,
So
disgusting
you twist it
garbage.
inside, and it turns it like to a
But
faucet.
anything to do with needles or jabbing the general
How you
member
gonna
of a
introduce your
male.
character?
Did you guys know that there's a
I'm
spider in
good.
South America that can give you a boner?
Did you know that if this carries on, I'm going to leave the call and maybe question my life decisions? Because you've not even been introduced into the game yet, and you're already making the DM squirm. Fuck you.
I aim to please.
So, with that, everybody that is not you, can everybody roll d20 if you haven't already, please. Because we need to figure out who would like to give us a recap. And see if
I will.
anyone actually remembers.
It's not me. It's not Muzzy. Okay.
Kerbal Space
Put me in,
Scroll.
coach.
I'm recapping.
Mm-hmm. Tell us your side of the story. Tell us why you are not the weakest link.
I can cook minute rice in 58 seconds.
What, am I being timed?
No, just you do yours.
Alright, we began from a long hiatus. We were in the forest. We learned that we were being watched. We took quite a while deciding what to do.
Yes, you did.
Then eventually we were like, okay guys, we know you're there. Might as well show yourselves. These weird bird things with a giant, I don't know, drake, like lizard thing, came, which would likely rip us inside out very easily. Sol, no, it wasn't Sol, it was Halfir,
Uh-huh.
using communicate with animals, was able to persuade that we are no threat, and we paid our way through with an item from a hunt or kill in the past.
Leshen's bones.
We proceeded through. We eventually found a giant hole in the ground, which was disguised. We learned that was disguised by illusion magic and other kinds. We learned that the dinosaur creature, Triceratops, we were after, either jumped in or fell through. As a monk, I basically take no fall damage, so I yeeted in. Got a lay of the land. Saw the Triceratops. Quickly came up with a plan, which would have been a good plan. Halfway through the plan, others came down through the hole. We learned that the Triceratops was actually protecting the young boy. So, had to cancel the plan. Still disappointed. And ended with Carrick helping the boy, and together befriending the Triceratops. And Varnix stayed up top, out of the Triceratops' way, fearing that it will stomp him to death. And that's pretty much it.
A small caveat at the end. There was a very minor investigation in the small cave that it has as its little nest, where a little series of cracked eggshells, as well as one that looked to be recently split, still somewhat milky and yolky on the inside, was next to its bedding. Seemingly one of the young that it has either given birth to or aided in the birth of has been taken or has wandered off. The creature itself seems very concerned with seeing you guys in general and seemed very protective of the boy. Take that in any which direction you want, but you believe it could be a mother. Either way, it's missing a young. And it couldn't be anything more than, like, I'll say a very young child, so about the same size as that boy. And given that you have the bodies still vaguely fresh, with barely an hour or so, 2 hours maybe, they lie there trampled upon. You all see off in the distance, along the right hand side of the map, there is a pathway leading on to what looks like, from what you can barely see, it twists to the left, going deeper into, well, what's basically the underground at the minute. Underneath that, you can see it leads toward a small spring that has fresh water that's slowly dripping down. There's little drops of water that's coming from some other source, from somewhere up above, that's coming down, slowly trickling through, probably some kind of tunneling system that forms this fresh spring. But what would you guys like to diggity do?
How many? Because we need to bribe them on the way back. How many bones do you think I have? About the same as I had before, or?
You picked up
A little bit?
a couple of the bones from her den, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Do you still have those? Or do you need to write them down?
I need to what?
Do you need to write them down?
No, I just wondering if it's about the same as the ones that I gave.
Oh,
away.
literal numerically. Alright, yeah. Give or take. As far as you can tell, they seemed... The bones themselves didn't seem to you like anything unique per se, but the creature seemed immediately intrigued with them when you passed them on. So whether or not it's just the number of, or if it was something to do with the bones that you gave, is neither here nor there at the minute. But you'd reckon, give or take, about the same amount. The bones themselves that you have now are a lot smaller, given that they're from creatures that are quite a substantial amount smaller than a Leshen would be.
Okay, so I'm writing bones in cave and yeah. Okay. Can this thing climb up here?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Then I'm going to suggest to everyone that we should keep going and get out of here. And telling the whole thing about the eggs and all that.
Okay.
Oh, Lee, what did you mention about the bodies again? Where did you say they were from again?
They were from Theron. They are essentially like the police / military force from there. It's not exactly impossible for them to be in another country, but why specifically they would be here trying to raid eggs of a dinosaur is a bit weird. They're a little bit more on the specific, like, end goal kind of missions. They wouldn't be doing petty things like this. So what would you guys like to do?
I say we should keep going.
So, let me move you all bit by bit. Bippity boobins. So, as you all begin to wander up alongside and head toward the twist around the corner, at first, as you guys begin to move, the creature watches over each of you with a little bit of caution, with Carrick somewhat calming it still, and the boy still being in range. The second the boy starts moving along, the creature slowly follows him. It seems to disregard the rest of you for the most part, unless you get close to either the boy or it, without the boy being very close to it. As you begin walking along, you notice the pathway up until that twisting turn around the corner that you can't see through just yet. The creature seems almost small in comparison to how the width and the height of these walls are. And as it stomps along, it does so without hitting anything. And as you all turn the corner and start to climb upwards, there's quite a steep climb up diagonally for a moment, but it's almost more like rock climbing for a second. But you notice the creature very easily digs its foot into the dirt and starts just climbing up, as if it's an everyday ritual, and makes its way to the top with no problem. And you notice that the boy is somehow on the back of its neck, and it just looks down at each of you as if to say, "Come on," and waits. And as slowly but surely you kind of use these loose rocks that are formed out of them and pick yourselves up. It's not a DC worthy thing. You will all get there in your own speeds. Eventually you climb up and you look out. There is this long pitch black cavern with multiple, what look to be like these long poles of earth almost that lead upwards a good possibly 25 feet, maybe more. The place is empty for the moment, as for anything specific that you can find. The ground has more of a gravelly texture, and it does make these little crunches as you're walking along it. I'm pretty sure Sol, you don't have dark vision?
Let me
I know.
check.
Actually,
No,
wait.
no, I don't think so.
I always got to try and remind myself of who does and who doesn't.
I don't.
You have small amounts of dark vision. Vonix.
Oh, sorry. What?
No, that's fine. You've got a small amount of dark vision.
Oh, okay.
And when we get to dark vision maps, you'll see. And as you are all looking out, with what little vision that, in the case of Sol anyway, kind of like squinting a little here and there, as you're moving along, the gentle stomping that you are used to with the creature is reduced to something more of a heavier crunching. As you're stomping your way through, creature's looking around, it kind of slows its pace and lets you lot walk past. As you're wandering by, looking out and around, this place seems to go on a little bit further than anyone's vision can catch at the moment. And as you continue pacing for a little bit, Stefan.
Hello.
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 Welcome to your map.
Wait. I can. Hoi. This looks like a thing. Wow.
That it is.
Vote 20D is really fucking raping my computer. Nice. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is peak performance.
Fun, I don't know why Roll20 does it, but it really just does not enjoy
Fuck.
letting like any dark vision maps just immediately kill it.
I'm moving the back. Almost. I haven't moved anything though, but I'm almost there. I can feel it.
If anything,
Almost there.
if anything, I can turn it off. Hold on. Let me...
Huh? This is scary.
Having fun.
This F11 help. No, if anything, I made it worse.
1 second. Because in the case of me, I never
What the hell is
experience
my
these
CPU?
problems unless it's really intensive. But in
Wee.
terms of this, is it? Are you able to move your token?
Let me try.
If it helps, highlight your token.
Thus far,
Highlight your token and press any of the up, down, left, or right arrow keys instead of. There you go. One movement is a start. Is there much of a delay?
only like 5 seconds.
That's still pretty bad though, fuck. Alright, hold on. This map isn't that important,
It's-
so... There we go.
Oh, thank
You're
this
freed from-
is so smooth.
You're freed
Oh.
from the shackles that bind. I'll try to figure
Oh,
something
2
out for
FPS
that.
realm. Oh, this is excellent. Wow, my CPU is really getting hammered. Anyway, okay, yeah, right, nice. I'm in
I don't know
Okay.
why it's like that. Oh, as well, just out of curiosity, what browser do you use?
I'm using Chrome.
Ah, okay, same. Okay.
Does it work better on something else?
No, it just doesn't work at all on in Explorer because it's a garbage thing for garbage people. Okay.
You can try Firefox if you like.
Yeah, it
like,
works pretty decently on Firefox.
I'll try quickly.
I mean, that's alright. We'll work with. There's not going to be many dark vision maps for today, at least. If any, to be honest.
Alright.
So, you, having found yourself currently where you are, had just come out of the same long tunnel filled with the giant earthen poles leading to the roof, chasing something. And as you look out and around, there is this smell of a gentle fire that's just been put out. There's something of a meat that's been cooked very finely, and there's these like sense of sweetness and herbs, and but the food isn't what you're here for. Feel free to move yourself as you please. Obviously, because we don't have the dark vision stuff at the minute, any persons besides two at the far back by the water you cannot see. It's just them two at the moment, but act as if whatever way you want to. I will say you did narrow down that the creature is over there.
I think you can try turning on the dark vision. Actually, this is really smooth on Firefox.
Let's find out, shall we? Good luck.
Only problem is I don't know if it wants to. No, don't do that. Allow pop-ups, please. I need my sheet. Let's see. This is doable. This is absolutely doable. Holy shit, this is night and day difference.
Yeah, Chrome is heavy on your CPU.
Holy shit.
Not optimized as fuck.
Oh yeah, okay, no, this is nice. I'll deal with this. Well, very well.
Try.
Sorry, really recap. You
No,
said-
no, that's fine. Try moving your character real quick.
Yeah, see. Beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. I'm a dancing monkey.
See, for you, that might have been great. For me, you didn't move once.
Okay, we can
There we
still
go.
turn it up.
That'll do. That'll do. I think it's probably because you pressed the keys too fast. It was just like, okay, well, he's not
Like
moved.
this? Is this
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. That's all working.
Ah, nice. We'll do it like this.
Nice. So,
All right, nice.
real swift recap. Long story short, you walk through the tunnel, you smell something sweet and tasty, and you generally know where the thing is.
Right.
Literally.
And, somewhere straight above me. Yeah, nice.
So
alright.
feel free to wander as you wish. What?
I would like to. Well, do I hear anything? Like, other than smell anything, do I hear or see anything in particular that takes my... I can see this guy up here.
Bippity-boppity, where are we? So as of the minute, you should only be able to see the things that, without something stupid, you should only be able to see. So anything revealed by light or that your vision gives you, you shouldn't be able to see the whole map is the point. You can hear a little bit, in terms of the map, to the left, beyond the wall, a couple of people speaking in a language you don't understand. It sounds like it has a lot of like S's and a lot of lengthy words.
Oh, German.
Yes. Haben Sie Heil, etc. You know. Go completely south.
There. Okay, I can do pop-out window, but that doesn't really matter because I could just
Weird.
use a sheet like this. Yeah, okay, no, it worked now. It was just infinitely long before. Okay, this is great. Well, I can hear someone talking. So I will attempt to stealth.
Mm-hmm.
So here, I'll click the button.
Very
Roll.
nice.
Ah, nice, it rolled. Excellent. And I will then proceed to slowly walk up here, like lean out across like the across the wall here, so I get a peek.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see a guy.
Yep. As you,
Is this like a
it is
shelter?
a thatched hut.
Hmm.
You see one small opening that can be considered a window. It has what looks to be like straw in the shape of like bars, as if it's a small prison. As you're kind of looking in, you're tilting your head a little bit, just observing. You see stood out front is a guard with a blade sheathed at his side, a torch in his right hand, and he's just facing forward. Every now and again he'll look around, kind of look upwards, check the roof, he'll check toward the waters, but for the most part he seems unalerted. Every now and again you'll hear these little heavy footprints from inside the hut, but you see nothing moving.
Alright. Well, my natural instinct tells me I want to see what this is. So, like, at the moment, I like see him looking away from my general direction. I want to like sneak up across the wall here and like up to this spot here.
Mm-hmm.
Like try to hawk down to the ground on all fours.
Okay.
So I
So
want to peer inside.
you wander off back against the wall and then quickly skirt along the grounds. You peek head in and look inside, and you see this very tiny triceratops with a little fluff of hair on the back of its neck. Two what can be considered like pokers for horns. They're tiny little things, really. Almost about the size of two of your needle prongs. And it's kind of like poking its head against the door every now and again, and you just hear some sounds, some words you don't understand coming from the guy who's guarding the door, as he presumably turns around and shouts it at the creature, and then he goes back to his station. You see the creature slumps down in front of the door. You see there's this slight, almost slickness to it as well, some kind of sheen.
How much? No, wait. How tight is it? Like the gap between the bars?
Not very. You could easily fit a hand through.
Okay. Well, I let's see. What can I do? What would be a great idea to do? So the door is like right behind the guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Yeah. Have I ever encountered these guys before?
I would say no.
No, I don't have any idea of who they are.
Actually, no. To be fair, do a history check.
I'll do a history check. You know what? Great idea.
Oof. There's something about them that looks familiar, but as you're thinking about it, you think for a couple of seconds too long, you just give up on it entirely.
Big brainy thoughts or a hurting head. Okay, what would be a really good do? I don't really feel like I need to attack him. I think I'll try to distract him, and I have the perfect thing to do it with, which will most probably not be perfect. I have 50 gold on me. So in like my little pouch of money, I'll just like reach in for a random handful, and I'll just try to throw them over here at the lake.
Oh my god. Roll a d6.
I'll roll a d6.
Yeah. Okay. So you quickly like grab a handful of 4 coins, and you just kind of like throw them over the top of the thatched roof. As it goes flying over, you hear a couple of them ding 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 against the floor, and then you hear the splashing of 2 of them, and immediately you hear the sound of a sword being pulled outward a couple of inches. You just hear the shh, and you then hear a couple of steps. As he quickly turns around, he starts investigating.
Oh, excellent. So he moves up there. Okay, I will act on this opportunity I have. I will still be, I will be like low to the ground, sneaking up, to the door. Is it locked, or does it look like there's a lock on it?
It doesn't look like there's a lock, though trying to figure out any kind of like door handle or otherwise is confusing. As you look at it, you do see what looks to be like a slit that would evidently mean it's a door, but you're not sure if it's a push or pull kind of thing. But evidently, since the creature can't get out, it's either because he was blocking it, or
I will try to open the door towards me as slowly as I can, but also trying to get it open. So if it pries back, then I'll give it a little. I'll rough it a little.
Okay. So as you peel your fingers around the crack and start to pull, keeping your eyes out on the guy as he's now wandering over towards the waters, looks down. He sees the coins that have trickled along to the ground, and then he looks into the water, sees a couple of the coins that are slowly descending, and then you see his head turn upward and looks toward the ceiling. You pull the door open with very little resistance. As you do, the creature immediately, still like slumped down, turns its head up, stands up on all fours very quickly, and you notice it's got this kind of almost like happy little dance it starts doing with the front of its 2 front feet as it starts like padding the ground.
Oh, excellent. I want to quickly grab it under its like front limbs and, you know, just run run back the way I came.
Okay. So run across the map as much as you have normal movement speed. So if you've got
excellent.
40, you do 40.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Meow.
So as you quickly scoop the creature up and drag it along with you, just charging by, you hear the sounds of "It's a!" As the guy turns around, drops the torch, quickly draws his sword, and he's getting 10 feet. So Oh, that timing. So as you start charging the ironic, the creature with you, go another 40.
I will go another 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 40.
Okay. Okay, so as he shouts, you can hear footsteps from just a little beyond the wall to the left. People charging by, and a couple of others are now moving towards where you are, but they don't seem to see you. You hear the sounds of crossbows being loaded. Go for another 40. And just as a note, these black spots are exits.
5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Very nice. So he comes around the corner. These ones go down here. Okay. So the guy behind you, who's currently got his sword drawn, is like charging down toward you, and you see as you've got the creature scooped, and you're just like running all full power. You turn back and look, and you see he's like squinting as he's looking toward you in the darkness. And he seems to have to give up the ghost. As you begin running down the corridor, I'm going to move you back to the world map temporarily. As you begin running down the long black abyss like hallway that stretches out again a good like 30 or so feet itself in width and 25 feet or so in height, with these pillars that are going from ground to roof. As you're like charging through, you kind of slow down a little bit, hearing the sounds of people shouting in the distance, but not hearing any motions as if they're following you. Varnix has disappeared because he's got shit to do. I was gonna switch back to you.
I'm back.
Hello. Good timing. So for you guys, as you're wandering through this hallway, a good 5 minutes or so has passed by, and you're still walking. It's quite a long hallway. Eventually you come across a small, what looks to be like hole in the ground that has these piles of bones that have been deposited. You see that the Triceratops kind of like leans down and pokes its nose horn against it. You see it looks curious about it, as if it's looking for a new treasure or something, but it seems to mostly disregard it after a single wipe. And then as you continue moving forward, everybody make a perception check. So, Carrick and Varnix, you two, or specifically Carrick for this first part, you hear the sounds of something being shouted in the distance. You can't quite make out what it is, but you don't know if it's a language problem or if it's just because you just barely catch it in the first place. Varnix and Carrick, the pair of you also hear the sounds of something echoing across the walls in the cavern. The sounds of a footfall, and it sounds like it's coming from all around you as it echoes. What would you all like to do?
And I don't think I can hear it.
No, you can't hear a thing. You just about hear the sound of something in the distance.
So we just basically hear the sound of footfalls, but it sounds like it's coming from everywhere because of the echo.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that it's there, can we listen to try and find the source or the direction?
Yeah. It's not coming from behind you at the very least. You know it's coming from ahead of you, but specifically is a bit tough to tell. Though as you guys stop and start listening, you hear the sound of the Triceratops' foot start to hit against the ground as if it's preparing to charge forward. And just as that stomping starts to begin, it stops a couple of seconds later as you guys see slowing down, walking toward you, but very quickly hiding, specifically Varnex and Carrick. You two see Stefan. What do they see?
Okay, yeah, great. I'll try to explain it. So, you'll see a quite slender, yet tall-looking figure, covered in what looks to be like porcupine needles, arranged in like colors of white up top, which drops down to long needles that are completely white and kind of imitates the look of hair, with like red spots across the body and kind of like a brownish appearance around the neck, hucking what looks like a Triceratops baby to its chest.
So, as you're running along and you notice what is literally a gaggle of people, let me... I'll put you on that for a second. So, can you see the map, Stefan?
I can indeed.
Nice. So, along the right-hand side, that is what you see ahead of you. What would your immediate reaction be to that?
Uh-oh. I feel like my immediate reaction would probably be to like stop as I see them and kind of like back up.
Okay.
First to like peek to see if they saw me.
Yep. What about the rest of you?
I mean, I don't see shit.
I don't know. We knew that we were missing a baby Triceratops. One is apparently being held by a stranger before us. I guess I just say, weapons ready.
What?
And drag or stuff. I don't know. A stranger is in front of us. We can hear footsteps. I'm just being ready.
Okay, I didn't hear anything, but sure. I'm going to prepare the whip.
Okay. Connor? Did he say BRB?
Rest in peace.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't realise I was muted.
You
Sorry,
scrub.
I was talking this entire time.
You scrub.
Oh no.
Right. Okay. What I did say, but it was missed, was I look to Varnex and I just say, "Did you just see what I thought I just saw?"
What, a hedgehog per person to hold and a baby Triceratops? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's approach this with caution because it is holding the child, the baby, and we don't know whether we're seeing things or whether what we just saw is, well, planning to harm the baby.
All you guys hear
Wait.
is the stomping steps of a certain mother Triceratops who wants its fucking baby back.
Is the boy still on the Triceratops?
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
I'm just gonna turn around and attempt to calm down the Triceratops.
Probably get the kid off it.
Uli,
Mm-hmm.
did I see the giant Triceratops
Oh,
behind them?
easily, yeah. That thing,
Oh.
the thing's like 15 foot tall.
I think in that like sense, I will like peek back out. I will actually like walk around the corner, like holding the baby, and then I will like, skittishly try to like go forward, like only looking at the mother Triceratops with the baby and like hold it up,
Chiquenya.
and then I'll say like, "Who, Nadissa found mother. Woo, look." And I'm like holding the baby Triceratops up in like my head level height.
I'm just gonna look towards the Triceratops, look towards the figure that's just walked out and said that. And they're like, whoa, 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 and look back, and look to the kid up on the Triceratops and just say, "Can you try and keep it as calm as possible?"
You see as the Triceratops is stepping forward, and you just feel underneath your feet as if the ground itself is quaking as the creature starts stepping forward. It lowers its head down towards you, currently holding the babe up, and you see as the babe is like writhing a little bit in your arms, and you barely keep hold of it.
I will smile and put it down on the ground, gently, like just go.
As you do that, it kind of wobbles for a second and then starts to pad the ground, trying to imitate its mother by stomping. And it leans down very slowly, and as the two get within a little bit of an inch of each other, you see the mother gently pushes its face with her nose, and it wobbles and falls onto its butt. And as it looks up at her, it tilts its head a couple of times, and then she tilts hers, looking at him. They kind of smell each other for a couple of seconds. And the mother opens its mouth just a slight, bites it by the scruff and pulls it up and drops it onto the back of her neck with the kid.
I will jump dubiously and say, "Nadissa did it! Nadissa heard roadie rockets in big cave, big evil men, big swords, hold baby. Nadissa found mother. Good, no?"
It
Who are you?
looks over toward you, its head tilting a little bit. It takes steps forward and looms horribly tall over you. It lowers its charger. As it looks over you, its head's tilting and it starts to smell the air around you.
Smell it back.
It seems off-put by that. It then kind of gives you a shoulder nudge with its nose.
Nadissa happy. She found mother. But I will look over to all the other ones. Who are you?
You're going to see over here a very confused looking young human just with one arm very loosely on the side of the Triceratops, because by this point it's moved, and just looking very confused with a slight jaw drop and one eyebrow raised, studying you very curiously, and just looks very lost for words. And I look back to Varnix. What is going on?
I replied to Carrick. I don't think common is his primary language, based on how it's speaking.
Hey! Nadissa not it. Nadissa speak floppy tongue very good.
Carrick just looks even more bewildered. You guys are native here, right? No offense, but what race is this person?
Can I roll for it?
I would
would I
say...
know?
I think, funnily enough, Connor's the only one.
Wait, what? I'm the only one who
That-
will probably know.
that has even a chance of knowing. Roll a, I'll say a nature check.
A nature.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not a clue.
Could we all roll a nature check, like to check?
I'm gonna say
Or just
no
Eric?
just because of what this is.
Okay.
As you all look at them, they have a weird kind of pseudo-fae kind of look, but you couldn't place it as fae exactly. There's something... there's something just missing to place it as fae, but it's not anything that most of you have seen before. And Carrick, you're kind of looking at them like, that's weird. And then you have that moment where there's that one small spark in the back of your head, and you're like, oh no, it's on the top of my tongue. Oh, maybe I've heard something about this before. Maybe I've seen it before, and it just doesn't come to you.
Yeah, I'm just going to slowly walk forward, and I'm just gonna put my weapon away, and I'm just gonna walk forward very slowly, but sort of like with me chest out, proper posture, and walk within, I'd say about within at least 10 feet apart of each other, and just look directly at them. And I'm just gonna say, do you I'm gonna assume that the very thing you've been repeating very so often, the name is Nadisa?
Yes. Me is Nadissa.
Right, Nadisa.
Who is you?
I sort of look back to the others with a side eye and just look back forward and go, the name's Carrick. Can I... Don't be offended when I say this, but... What are you? You seem familiar, yet... I don't really... Oh, it's at the back of my mind, but... You seem very familiar as a race in general. What are you?
Nadissa is Arborea. Forest
Right.
people.
Does that ring a bell to Carrick now that he or she says that?
Make a history check.
Make a history check.
It's another one of those, it's on the tip of your tongue, but you, at least this time, it's not the Arborea part, it's basically the tree people part. You just think, with spines and forest people, there's something about that. And then you start to think of your family, and you just kind of, you just have this constant, like, scrunched thought face, and it's right there. It's right there, and it's just not coming to you.
Can I get a description of what the guys look like?
Carrick, since you've been talking, what the hell do you look like?
Right. Just to put some perspective in your mind, you send a close-up picture on the token, but to give you more of a description, you're seeing somewhat of a young-looking human male who has black hair, tan skin, and amber eyes. He's 5'8", and he's fairly wide in stature, sort of like very well built. Yeah, it's quite an odd combination considering how built he is compared to a very youthful face.
I'll imagine the picture for the JoJo character.
Pretty much. Yeah, let's go with something like that. Yeah. And
How tall are
yeah,
you?
5'8", and one of the main features is that he has a scar from the left side of his cheek that travels down past his jawline and down his neck slightly, heading to the back of sort of like where the spine would start. And his hair is fairly long.
I have to.
Quite wild.
Sorry. I need it in. It's because I need it in like not imaginary units.
God damn it, I forget.
170. Okay, so I'm a little good bit taller than you are.
That's
At
fine.
like 6'1.5" or something. I'm not good with funny units. 185 centimeters. All right. What else?
I am wearing. I'm wearing heavy ammo. I've got chainmail on. I have a shield by my side, a sword in its sheath, sort of like from the back end, and you see a fair bit of gear being lugged on me, as well as a greatsword hanging from my back, which is also strapped to my bag.
So then...
But for any other extras, you'd probably have to be closer.
Mozilla Firefox.
Yes. So you see a human as well, shorter than him. How tall you said you are?
5'8".
Give me in regular unit.
Yeah, my man.
Fucking weird.
I looked up 5'8" to be 172.7.
172. So I would be around 170. Cowboy hat, turtled clothes, big bag, a shovel behind, holding a whip made of stone. Doesn't look too strong, but does look charming.
Tell someone you're a charm caster without telling them you're a charm caster.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And finally, Kerbal Space Program.
Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah. We have Conaroo, we have Mozilla Firefox, and we have Kerbal Space Program.
Varnex can go to space.
You don't have to go to space to be called Kerbal Space Program. It's not Varnex we're talking about, is it, Kirby?
Okay, you see a brass-coloured dragonborn, about 7.5 feet. I just had to look up how tall dragonborns are. And you see pretty much what I'm wearing in my profile picture, where it says JK. I've got wrappings all around my forearms, hands, and wrists. That shows I'm more versed to hand-to-hand combat.
All right.
For a very swift one for the other 3 people that are with them, there is a child, very basic leathers that they've picked up as part of the mission they're doing. There's Brick, who is a bugbear, who, again, they've not really intentionally picked up, but as part of their previous mission, he aided them, and he didn't really have anywhere else to go, so he followed them, and they were good with him, and vice versa. He has very simple, like, patchwork armor, and hammers and stuff. And Halfir, wearing a lot of green, short hair, looks elven, has a very consistent, soft bitch face, and is currently eyeing you up and down with that. It's a slight tinge of curiosity, but there's also a lot of concern about you. And he doesn't really say anything. He just observes. And I'm pretty sure that's everyone.
All right. So
The giant Triceratops.
Well, yeah.
And this is Terry the Triceratops.
It's Teresa. God. It's a woman,
having
you know.
seen everybody, I'll like approach the Dragonborn. Kind of looking up and down, but like up in his face, a little bit away, but like curiously tilt my head and look back at the Triceratops and back at him like a couple of times, and then I will like point, and I will say, "Is your baby?"
No.
I'll like imitate my fingers on my head, but you has horns, no?
I actually just realized the Triceratops and I have very similar color.
Yep.
So
I like imitate a roar.
I'm a very distant cousin.
Ooh.
I sort of look back. You're elated?
I just give him a look like,
I'm like just like staring at my hands, look like I'm counting, and then I just say, "What is cousin?"
I just put my hands in the middle of my brow, and I'm like, ugh. Okay. Why are you here?
Nadissa saved baby. Nadissa heard rowdy ruckus inside cave. Nadissa found people, swords, very mean.
People
Ugly
where?
too. Down cave. Nadissa can show you, but Hume men were very angry at Nadissa. Had baby
Right.
in little hut, made of wood, and then I imitate like bars with my hands.
Right.
Nadissa open, throw glittery coin. I take out like my pouch and I shake it. Hume men walk up and look, and Nadissa take baby and run.
That's very smart and very helpful to us, actually. Thank you.
How many of them were there?
2.
No check required for that.
Can you show me with your fingers?
I hold up 2 fingers, but one on each hand.
Are you sure there were this many?
There was Hume man far away, and Hume man at hut, and Hume man at hut chased Nadissa.
Let's just assume there's more than 2. Where did you... how did you get in here?
Ah, I walked. I say
sort
like
of
with the
like-
biggest smile on my face.
I point up to the ceiling where there's a hole, and I say, "Did you walk through that, or did you go somewhere from over there?" And I just point from behind him.
Nadissa did not come from Big Hole.
So
Nadissa,
you came from another entrance?
yes.
Do you want to take us to the entrance?
Do I know where the entrance is?
The place where you came from is a separate spider webbing kind of path. The only reason you even managed to see the babe in the first place is 'cause you were taking a detour, just, kind of exploring, just doing your own thing for a bit. You heard the little noises the creature was making and you went after it. Mostly it's just been a long journey of lefts and rights. But it's an exit.
I'm gonna go with a strong. Nadissa forgot.
Great.
I sort of look and I just say, I just lean over the soul and I just say, are we just going to go with the original plan then and just, charge our way through where we need to go?
Unless we have some way to climb up that massive hole, it's likely our best.
Yeah, I was gonna say climbing up that massive hole is not an option.
So yeah, I guess we have no choice but to keep
Yeah.
moving forward.
I asked
Well,
Nadissa. I asked Nadissa. The humans you encountered, do they look similar to the humans down here? And I point at all like the corpses scattered about around the hole.
Well, to be fair, I've only got you guys on that map because there's not a intermediary map. So you would have to explain it in character, but because she would have seen it anyway. Yes, long story short.
Hmm.
oh,
Yeah.
there's a she. Okay, I kept saying he.
Hey, I'm not saying one way or another. I'm just making my own assumptions.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I guess we have no other choice but to keep moving forward. So, this you wanna join us?
Where you go?
Out.
We're leaving the cave.
Natissa wants to leave cave.
Great. Then come along with us. Can you fight?
Yes.
What can you do?
I like claw out in the air with my hands.
Okay. Any magic?
Mm,
I show like a mage hand as an example.
ooh.
I guess that's enough.
Natissa could do something like that.
Well, what can you do?
Nadissa can only show when she's scared.
What'd you say?
Nadissa can only show when scared.
I see. So,
Her arms become like blue and glow, and then woof,
woof.
woof.
I don't think he's talking about a dog. Let's just assume it's some form of bellowing of sorts.
Okay.
I suppose the only way we can, find out is violence. But hopefully for the people up ahead, if they aren't gonna let us through so willy-nilly.
Then shall we go then?
Yes, let's get going.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of looked at the Triceratops to see what it's doing at this point. Unless it's still looking at the kid and the bubby.
At the minute, the Triceratops is looking back at its child and kind of like shaking it around on its back just to play with it for a little bit. And you see it's like doing these little stomps on the back of its head to mimic its motions whenever it does little movements.
I sort of like shout back to the kid and say, "We're soon gonna get moving, lad. Are you on there nice and tight, yeah?"
You see this tiny little head nod and a smile as he kind of like ruffles the fur of the baby Tricera.
Right, well, hopefully we'll get you home to your sister by nightfall. Well, before then, anyway.
So
And I sort of looked at the Triceratops and moved towards it slowly and sort of like pat it to see if I can get its attention.
as you get closer, it seems to just turn naturally and look toward you. It seems strangely far friendlier.
I'm just going to stroke its face quite nice and softly.
I too want to approach it.
Okay.
Like hesitantly put out a hand to see if like I can touch it.
It takes a little smell of you again for a moment and then doesn't really seem to make any other motions.
And then I would like to nuzzle, like slowly get closer, not just instant bury it, but I'd like to like nuzzle my head against it.
Okay. So you do. It looks at you a little bit confused, and you do feel a little bit of like there is a little bit of like scalage in around its face and a little bit under its neck, and it's pretty sturdy, though parts of it have been banged up from some kind of recent incident it has been part of. But it does feel kind of nice, really. Although to be fair, it is like putting your face against the wall, but the creature itself does this quiet little noise that tickles you for a moment.
And I'll sort of like look at it and do a hand motion and just point forward and proceed to walk backwards quite slowly and then turn around to get the other's attention to say that we're moving on.
Okay.
In hopes that it will follow.
And it does, slowly. As it begins wandering forward with you, the two children on its back playing together. You're hearing the little doof, 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 kind of grounded a little by the gravelly floor. As you make your way forward, about a minute or so goes by of walking, and you see little flickers of light in the distance, as well as what looks to be a small bed of water at the very furthest edge. A small camp of some kind, which Nidissa, of course, was just here, so if you want to say anything to them beforehand, feel free.
Anything to what, sir?
No, Nidissa was here a minute ago, so I was just saying if you wanted to say anything about that. But, yeah. As you will begin walking forward, there are 3 entrances. There is large pillars that block immediate access, so it causes 3 doorways. Does anyone want to go into a specific door, left, middle, right? Or are you all just piling through one?
Do they all look roughly the same size, or what looks like the largest entryway?
The largest would probably be the left, followed by the right, then the middle. The middle being the tightest. So the dinosaur wouldn't be able to fit through, for example.
Yeah, we'll be looking at the prominently the left. Though there is a chance that it could be the most public way, which there would be, well, company. Right? It might be a possibility that it gets thinner. I'm going to probably vote for the left. What's everyone else's opinion?
Yeah, sounds good. Otherwise, the dinosaur couldn't really fit.
Nideva, can you remember which passage you came from?
Can I, or do you want me to roll it?
Nope, that's fine. You just now came from the right. For what little you could tell, you've not seen the left side, because there was a massive wall in the way. But the middle and the right are all pretty much the same thing. It's just split off. That's all it is.
This came from over there. I'll say and point to the right.
Was it a big entryway, or was it quite a squeeze?
It wasn't squeezy. Okay, roomy.
I sort of point back to the Triceratops. Will they fit?
Do you want me to do a rolly?
No. So you kind of think to yourself for a moment, and you think of.
I want to flex my big brain.
You just kind of tilt your head for a moment, and you think of basically if you were pushing the Triceratops into that space, would it fit? And you have this actual mental picture for a moment, and it's like, huh, yeah, probably.
I'll nod vigorously.
So right is probably the more guaranteed and safer way then.
It also means we'll run into the other humans.
There might be there might be more of them on the left side.
Yep. All right.
I sort of look. Right. It is, sir. Lead the way.
Okay.
So you guys going to the right?
Yeah.
This will walk right.
Okay. Bippity boppity. Oop, tokens and stuff. So. Boop.
Ooh. Atlesia remember this place. This is where Atlesia found baby.
As you guys get here, it's very quiet. There isn't a gentle breeze that's flowing through. There are what look to be creatures hanging from the roof that are just sat motionless, clinging very gently to the rock. Nothing seems disturbed, but still an eerie quiet it is.
Do these things look asleep?
What things?
The things you mentioned were hanging from the ceiling. And
Yeah.
I know these things.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like they're making any emotions. You can't see any eyes anyway. There's no pupils or anything. They look like they're possibly bats. It's slightly hard to tell. They fit in very well with the dark.
I would like to sneak up to where I was before and peek around the corner.
Make a perception check.
I will make a check of perception.
Damn. So, I say as you get to this part here, and you begin like turning to look toward that point, you hear the sounds of rocks being disturbed. You hear them clashing against the ground very gently in this little pathway to your right.
I will hug the wall and I will like peek around the corner.
As you just do this little peek and you look, you can't see anything down there, but you heard something disturbed from down there, maybe 10 feet away.
I will like slowly approach, like crawling on the ground, trying to see if I can peer inside.
So as you turn the corner just a little bit and you look inside, squinting just a slight, in the shadows 10 feet away you can see what looks to be a series of boxes, and a figure is stood behind those boxes, and he's currently holding on to something that's seemingly hovering over the edge of one of the boxes, something he might have disturbed. And he's trying to remain motionless.
I will like go back just so I'm peeking around the corner and can see it, and I'll be like, "Hello? Are you bad, Humi?" I'm saying like fully audible, like no stealth, just hi.
You don't hear anything.
Is Humi friend one of yours? I look like back around the others. I can just see like Varnex.
I'll slowly peek out and just do a shushing motion.
I'll just tilt my head.
Garrick's just gotta look back to the others and look for any suggestions at this point.
Is he actually yelling? Tell him to shut the fuck up.
Ring. And Garrick's just gonna massage his temple a little bit and just be like, fuck it. Garrick's just gonna walk straight through, and well, before that, I'll look back at Varnix and just say, "Act accordingly." I'm gonna wrestle whatever is going to happen, and you'll either hear that it's safe to come through, or well, be prepared for a fight.
If I had eyebrows, one would be raised.
Yes, don't judge me, but I got the hand we're dealt, so let's just deal with what we can. If we can still do a little bit of surprise, I'll leave that up to you. I'll flash out anything else that needs to be flashed out. And I'll proceed forward. And heading towards Nidissa. And saying, what on earth you on about?
Kill me, man. Inside the walkway?
Oh, sort of like peer on. I'll peer on through as I come over. What do I see, Lee?
You see a small hallway that goes about 10 feet and has then a dip to the left. You see, without peeking through the doorway itself, you would have to go straight to the door. At the minute, you can see what looks like a couple of boxes, but you can't see anything else.
I sort of like lean forward a little bit and just be like, "Hello, is anyone there? My friend seems to have spotted you. Who are you?"
You just get a cold silence.
Maybe they shy.
Maybe it's a fucking ambush. I will hold sort of like lean backwards a little bit so I'm not fully sticking out, and just hold my left hand up so the others behind me can see, and form a solidary fist in the air, and then slowly raise it down as I peek back round the corner.
I would like awkwardly mimic what he's doing, but looking at him.
So,
Hello, if anyone's there. I will not mean you harm, but if you seek to harm me, you will die. So come out now, or things will get violent.
as you say that, can you make me a quick Constitution save? As you feel something with a slight stick, but also a couple of little pinpricks jab the back of your neck, and then there's this poisonous effect that tries to take hold for a moment, and you feel slightly lightheaded, but you very quickly kick out the effects, and you turn around and you look up above you. Hugging onto the side of a pillar, you see this almost like small person size, like a gnome sized chameleon that's hugging onto the wall, and you see its tongue retracting back to its mouth. And then you hear, "Huzzah!" Initiative, please.
I hear it and or recognize it.
Do I take any damage from that, by the way?
No. What language does everybody speak?
Common, Ignan, Dwarfish, Draconic.
Nope.
Well, out.
I've stated mine.
Nope.
I can absolutely tell you I can't understand them. I don't speak German.
So put you in the initiative order. It's going to be very interesting how very quickly we all realise what Nidis is. These boys. very quickly piling out of assorted tunnels, except for the one that you guys are currently barricading. A bunch of boys with swords. Put that there. And I think... Gotta get our big girl as well, of course. All of the sheets, so many things to have open. She's going to stay back with the kids, because they are currently holding on to her. Okay. Nidissa.
Well, great. I see like 3 people sort of in front of me, up above me. I assume they have weapons drawn.
Yes. The 2 above you both have swords, and the one behind him has a crossbow. The chameleon-like creature is 20 feet up in the air, holding onto the side of the pillar, looking down toward you all.
I will go down like on all 4s.
Mm-hmm.
I will look up at the chameleon and like hiss at it. Like my like needles will like rise in like a danger sense, and I will have to make sure that I actually call
Like a prickly cat.
Yeah, imagine a porcupine doing what a cat does. I will use my action to be prepared to dodge the chameleon if it tries anything funny.
Okay.
But I will remain where I stand. That will be my turn.
Okay. Carrick?
Right. Did you say there was a ridge up here? Or is it just straight walking?
No, it's a straight walk. It's just because of the way the map is. The pillars are diagonal.
At this point, I'm going to assume I'm going to be very pissed off due to the fact I just got jabbed in the back of the neck.
Sure.
Or the sensation of it.
Sure.
How tall is the ceiling above us?
Well, the ceiling itself goes up to 25 feet.
Fair enough. You know what? Yeah. I'm going to look at the men in front of us and just say, remember, I didn't want this. You did. I'm going to get out my sword and I'm going to press forward.
As you
10.
finish saying the statement and start going forward with the sword, you see the guy to the right. There's that flick of recognition for a moment, and still holding onto the sword, seeing because of you coming toward him, he starts saying something quietly to the person to his left, and they both look at each other for a second. That's it. What do you want to do?
I'm going to now get in front of them in attacking range now and see how they react.
As you get close, the pair of them hold their blades pointed toward you, up above their shoulders, and they prepare for something. They seem to be in more of a guarded stance than they are an aggressive one.
Just curious, this pillar behind me, how big is it?
It goes up to the roof.
Fair enough. Could it be quite crazy? Can I attack the pillar and attempt to try and break it?
Sure. I mean, yeah, do an attack.
Alright. Can I use my inspiration to reroll?
If you really want to.
I really want to.
Okay.
Do I just do another normal roll or just the advantage roll?
You know how inspiration works.
I thought I'd be polite. Okay then.
Okay.
Still not good enough, but yeah.
So, tell me what your intentions are. How are you swinging at the pillar?
I'm facing the two guys. I mean, I just sort of like swiftly turn behind me and I just take a slash at the pillar and attempt to try and collapse it.
Firstly, you would have to move a little to the left map-wise. Secondly, it would need quite a higher roll, but do cleave a couple of inches through it without much in the way of resistance.
So did you say I'd have to move slightly to the left?
Yes.
That's fine, I still got a little bit of movement.
Nice.
And I'll do that and I'll look up to the chameleon because it's the one that started shit with me.
So as you crunch a little bit through it, you see the pillar doesn't seem to move, though with a portion of it broken off, the creature, it seems like its eyes haven't left you. And as it's looking at you, its head's making these little small motions, and its eyes blink in odd frequency. You see its tongue starts to loll out of its mouth as it gets ready to try again. Is that you?
Okay, that's me.
Okay. So the two in the room come charging out. You hear almost immediately as they come towards that something hits the ground, and they both, sounds like they stumble for a second to make their way out, but they do inevitably make their way out. And as they come out and see immediately Nadissa in front of the way, they both have their blades readied, and the guy on the right, on the top, looks at you, points, and then you see he makes a motion of carrying something, and then he does something that you're not really too sure about. He does kind of a like waving motion, and I'm being vague here specifically because of the intelligence thing. Any retort?
Hiss.
As you do that, he draws his sword, holds the blade up above his head, pointing toward you, same as the others. The guy below him, sword in hand, he holds it two-handed toward his hip, and he is going to step forward, but not specifically attempt to strike. As he looks around, he says aloud, "I have limited experience with the simple tongue. Perhaps we converse first." Anyone with a retort?
Oh, this could have been said a lot sooner rather than your chameleon friend up there doing something to me.
Well, in fairness, one of your little friends here had stolen from us.
Stolen what?
You carry the babe, do you not?
It's reunited with his mother.
That is an admission of guilt, then.
Guilt? It's rampaging the forests everywhere above ground, and it's causing chaos everywhere.
Is that not what the creature does?
It does, but if it's doing it upon civilizations that don't need to be involved with this, it becomes a problem for the expedition.
Ah, so you belong to the New Bloods. Well, That explains a few things then. Namely, why you're down here interfering with our business.
Your business. You are not native to these lands.
I wish I could tell you more details about how you're wrong in that facet. But unfortunately, given that you're part of the expedition, we are not on the same page. Though that does not mean an immediate aggression. You hear the sound of his sword being sheathed slowly, and in front of you, Nidisi, he is slowly sheathing the blade.
I still keep my needles like very flared up.
This is a complication. The creature, the babe, it must go with us. It is part of the mission we have been given for coming here. So maybe we can come to some sort of accord. Zephyr! He holds his arm up, and you see the chameleon that's currently attached to the wall turns, looks toward him, and you see his little pointers start to slowly crawl around the pillar, and makes its way all the way down, crawls past you, Nidissa, leaps up and jumps onto his arm, holds onto him, and it looks at you, its tongue lolling out about 2 inches or so. What would you want? I would rather not cause bloodshed.
I sort of look to the other two here, and I look back to him. I'm guessing you can see me from here.
Oh yeah.
I sort of look and I just say, I'll put my sword away, and I'll make my way to you. Just ask your men down over here to stop pointing them at me, and I'll stop pointing mine at theirs.
He turns and looks toward them and looks at you. They hold their blades solely because you hold yours. You can walk away. Believe it or not, we have honor.
I'll put my sword away and just say, so honor it be, I can abide by that. I put my sword away, slowly walk here, and then proceed to walk down.
But in the mean of this, I'll take like a step back, so I'm like a good 5, no 10 feet in this case, like away from them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping my stance.
Everybody can kind of treat this temporarily as a loose out of combat.
It's a ceasefire, well, turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Now I see them.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I was sort of squint at the chameleon before giving the man eye contact.
Huh. I'm going to telepathically tell all of my friends here that probably can see them that there are a few more over here.
I'll probably think back. Did say that there'd probably be more than 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna move away. Oh, okay then. Hello.
Mhm.
And 2 more chameleons over here.
Now that we have temporarily settled, we shall do this the way the people in my home do. We will have some tea, and we will discuss. If there is still a problem by the time we have finished, then we will draw blood, but only then. May you follow? As he walks around you all very slowly, holding on to the handle of his blade, still sheathed, with the chameleon on his arm that slowly crawls up onto his shoulder. And then he looks around. Calliope, Zera, come! You then see the two chameleons that are also hugging the wall over there crawl around it, get very quickly into eyesight, and you guys just hear the scuttling. And they both kind of like latch onto his back. And then he begins to wander off.
So I look to Halfir to give him that sort of look, like a questioning one of what he reckons should be done.
Well, tea would be a good start, but I don't trust them. Not just because of my usual nature, but there's something about this attitude.
I think I can agree with you this time. It might be worth having someone stay back with Brick, maybe, and the Triceratops.
He turns, looks toward them, and then he just looks at you, and you get the assumption immediately he's willing. He doesn't want to be as close to them at all.
Might be splitting up, but other than that, the priority is getting the child out of here. And maybe, well, trying to get the Triceratops out, but we'll see about what they have to talk about first. But other than that, priority here is getting the kid out. I'll go with them, with Varnix and so if they want to come with, and whoever else wants to follow on. Anyone who wants to stay back, make it known now.
Okay, no one. Lee, you said these guys are from Theron, is that right?
Yes.
How far is that from here? It's basically like another country, right?
Yes. Here you go, I'll show you.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Whereabouts?
you guys are on the bottom right. Theron is the top. So
So it's
in
all still in the Willow Plains, right?
you guys are in the Willow Plains. Theron is its own different thing.
But like its own country.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, all the way at the top. Yeah. So basically, this is not their native land. So
No.
they're basically on our territory, and they're giving us the live. So
So as
Who's coming with me?
I will, I think.
I can go with.
Atlesia does not like these humies. She will not leave behind baby and mother.
So you're staying?
Yes.
Okay then. Then the three of us will go forward.
So Halfir will sit by the wall, looking forward, with enough of a bird's eye to look at what's going on. You see the chameleons wander off.
Question:
Mm-hmm.
Can we stop for the day?
Can do.
Because it's getting pretty late for me.
Okey-dokey.
Can do. I'd say this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
If anything, I need another,
Alright.
especially if it's getting late for you.
Mhm.
I always forget about our time difference, to be honest, Mozzie.
Hmm.
Yeah, there is a bit of a time difference, not much.
Hmm.
Is it like an hour, 2 hours?
Right now it's 11.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Damn. So normally you play till 12. Fuck me.
Yeah.
You absolute mad lad.
Usually I work from home, but tomorrow I need to be at the office.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Why? What's the point? If it can be done at home, it
Because-
might as well just be done at home.
Yeah, because I've been people because I don't know how much you know about like the tech. Well, I mean, you've heard about the layoffs at Microsoft, Google, Facebook, yada yada yada. Now in IBM, but they didn't tell you anything. So yeah, it affects like the whole industry, and I need a job. So I need to put in a bit more work, a bit more hours.
That's
That's
fair.
fair.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I hope it goes well, dude.
Yeah. And if not, I'll just find something else. We'll live on, I don't know, unemployment for 6 months, and hopefully I'll find something. But yeah, manager is a bitch anyway.
Silver lining.
All right.
Well then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Steve.
Yeah, you too, dude.
Steve.
Steve. Yeah, welcome to the first session, my man, of hopefully many.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and please no more weird medical facts.
I have to start off rough. It only goes downhill from now on.
Ah, great. Great. So I have something to expect.
Yeah.
Great.
Pretty much.
Stefan, your token is now in Might and Magic, which is what they've called themselves, by the way.
Nice.
Did we?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
not remember?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty
It
sure.
was a long fucking time ago.
Well, to be fair, yeah.
That's true, actually.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, Lee sort of gave us the question of the name, and then it was like,
I even said, you guys can think about it if you want. Just get back
And
to me
then-
about it. But then you're like, no.
Then I said, how about the fact us two we fight, you two use magic. Why not might and magic? And then we just went with that from there because everyone else was like, yeah, we haven't got any suggestions. That's as good as any.
I'm going to go ahead and go cook. Because I am starved.
I always forget you cook late.
I mean, fucking Jake's not home till late, so there's no point me cooking until late.
That's true.
Unless I'm hungry, obviously, but I'm not. Right, I will see you fuckers same time next week, and hopefully this little tea date does not turn sour, and shit gets done.
But as ever, I think we're more or less prepared for any other outcome, hopefully. Hopefully.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Enjoy.
Good night,
your-
everyone.